shouldn't surprise us because that has been the characteristic of the enemy, the fallen one, the proud one, Satan, Lucifer. And in Genesis chapter 1 verse 2, we see what he does. His signature is darkness and confusion, disorder. These are his trademarks. And Jesus said to us that he's a liar and the father of lies in John 8:44. So these ideas are lies. And we need to dislodge them. We need to help young people unpack the truth so that then they do not fall for the deception of Satan. So I've been in the trenches, literally, since 2015. And if you have watched the Say No to CSE video, minute 8, 55 seconds, you will see me and other parents saying no to CSE, Comprehensive Sexuality Education. And we marched through the streets of Nairobi and we were calling on government and parents to come together and say no. And I'm truly grateful that there are many institutions in this country, like the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, under the Ministry of Education, that said no to CSE. But we are also aware that because of people with wicked intentions and because of the greed for money, there are many others that have found their way pushing these ungodly ideologies, sending young people into schools and teaching children, teaching young people, both in primary and secondary schools, promiscuous content that encourages them to have sex, that shows them how to have sex without parental consent. Interestingly, that is a line that you will hear a lot in documents, without parental consent. The idea there is remove parents from their children. Go to the children and tell the children, your parents are not your friends. So this information, keep it away from your parents. Your parents should not know. Parents are denying you a very good thing. And what is that? Sex. So you have these children in different counties in our nation that are having sexual engagement without their parents' knowledge. So what is thrown at us in the media? Oh, children are promiscuous. There is heightened teen pregnancy. And what is the solution being offered? Not chastity, not abstinence. No. Give children contraceptives. Yes, give them condoms. Give them pills. Those are the suggestions that are being given. But I usually ask parents, my fellow parents, are you ready to bury your children? Am I ready to bury my children because of promiscuous sexual behavior? Absolutely no. There is no sane parent, no parent who loves their children, who would dare say, it's okay for you to sexualize our children. But that's exactly what is happening under the guise of sexual reproductive health and rights as they push the agenda of comprehensive sexuality education. In Kenya and other East African countries, the curriculum is called The World Starts With Me. The World Starts With Me, if you Google that, you will find that they have been in so many schools. At the coast, in Kilifi, in Narok, in Kajiado, in many other parts, where they sexualize children, then they come back and carry out statistics and say, whoo, children are having too much sex, and now we have all these numbers of teen pregnancies. Question is, what do you expect when you have sexualized children? And we have material where NGOs have gone to schools and they're teaching children and doing case studies for children on how to have sex. I will be sharing that in session 3 of this conversation and show you a live material that children are being taught from grade 6. And they are intentionally sexualizing children without the knowledge and the consent of parents. So what is CSE about? CSE, or Comprehensive Sexuality Education, promotes high-risk sexual behavior as a human right without parental consent. It is one of the greatest assaults on the health and the innocence of our children. CSE programs teach children how to obtain sexual pleasure as a human right without parental consent. For example, they teach on masturbation. They teach that children as young as 4 years should learn how to masturbate and acquire sexual pleasure. They teach that children as young as 9 years old should explore having sex with a person of the same sex. So a girl and a girl, a boy and a boy. Who in their right minds does that to children? That is what CSE is about. Now, unfortunately, many parents think that the sexual education going on under CSE is the same as the sexual education that we were taught when we were going to school. Now, that's not true. In our days, this movement had not gained as much root as it has presently. In the present reality, since 2005, they have gained a momentum and a lot of funding to push The World Starts With Me as the comprehensive sexuality education curriculum in Kenya and in other nations. In our days, we were taught sexual education that taught you about human anatomy so that you can see the difference between male and female. But right now, what they are teaching children is not just about human anatomy. No. It's about obtaining sexual pleasure as a human right. So we have an entire generation that has gone through this teaching. Right now they are employed, some of them are in campuses, and they're behind the LGBTQ plus conversation in this country and beyond. Now, I was able to understand that there is a conspiracy to keep parents uninformed. That is the reality that all parents need to understand. That already an enemy has reached to where your children are and has accused you to your children. The enemy has told your children that they should keep information from you. The enemy has told the children that parents are keeping a good thing from the children. The enemy has crafted these conversations to happen in computers through links that parents will never access. And there is that obsession with the phrase, without parental consent. Question begs, how? Why? Why pursue a cause without parental consent? Yet it is to parents that God entrusted the gift of children. God did not give children to governments. God did not give children to churches. God did not give children to other institutions, even to schools. God gave children to parents. So parents have the divine responsibility to take care of their children and to determine what is best for their children. If parents take their children to school, education should be seen as an extension of parenting. But right now we are having people who are having conversations and saying parents don't know the right thing for their children. So parents should be removed because parents are an obstacle. Parents are an obstacle? Parents are the ones who brought the children. Parents know what's best for their children. In fact, governments are custodians of the will of the parents, so that it is the conversation that safeguards children that should be at the heart of government policy. We must protect the weakest in our society, and these are children.